is unbelievable. And Saturday's going to be amazing, honestly. It's going to be electric. He damages sparring partners all the time. He's a savage.
Carl Froch gave Xander Zayas plenty of respect, but even that praise came with a challenge. Froch is basically saying, show me. And that's fair because beating Jaron "Boots" Ennis would instantly become the biggest achievement of Zayas' career. But this is where things get crazy. Respect is earned inside the ring, and Boots has been proving himself against top-level opposition for years.
When Zayas said to Top Rank, I want to fight Boots, they went, what? And they went, no. And he went, I want him. See, he was the guy that made this fight.
So you think they try to dissuade him?
No, I would.
So have you ever dissuaded any of your fighters from taking a certain fight?
No, because, well, off the top of my head, I don't know, but probably. But I'll give you an example. Anthony Joshua against Alexander Usyk, right?
Carl Froch believes Xander Zayas deserves credit for chasing this fight instead of avoiding it. That takes courage because most young fighters would happily wait another year before stepping in with someone as dangerous as Boots Ennis. But that's not the biggest issue. Wanting the fight and winning the fight are two completely different things. Boots has already shown he belongs among boxing's elite because of his speed, ring IQ, power, and ability to adapt under pressure. The reaction surprised everyone because Froch's comments actually increased respect for Zayas. Yet they also highlighted just how risky this decision really is. If Zayas pulls off the upset, his career changes forever. But if Boots performs the way many experts expect, this could become another reminder that elite champions operate on a completely different level. The pressure was only continuing to build.
Undisputed champ. This fight definitely excites me because just what's at stake, being a unified champion in another weight division, and I was already unified and lineal champion at 147. This is like a legacy thing for me, and that's what excites me. That's what gets me up. I know for sure this Saturday will, be the start of something great and change up. This is definitely going to change my life and take my, take me to the next level for sure. Skyrocket me to the next level for sure. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait. This Saturday, it's that time.
Boots Ennis couldn't hide his excitement because this isn't just another fight. It's an opportunity to cement his legacy. Becoming a unified champion in another weight class is the type of achievement that separates great fighters from elite ones. But this is where things get crazy. While Xander Zayas is talking about proving himself, Boots is chasing history. That's a huge difference in mindset. The reaction surprised everyone because Boots sounded completely calm, almost like he already knows what he's capable of. Remember this moment because it becomes important later. Champions who fight for legacy often perform at another level when the pressure is highest. If Boots delivers another dominant performance, the entire boxing world will have no choice but to recognize him as one of the sport's true pound-for-pound stars.
When you look at Xander, what do you feel like could pose a big threat for Boots in this fight that he hasn't seen?
The biggest threat for me is his size, meaning he could take more than what guys been used, what these guys been taking in the past when it comes to Boots. He could probably take more of a beating.
Greg Hackett believes Xander Zayas' biggest advantage isn't his speed or his technique, it's his size. That's a fair point because naturally bigger fighters can often absorb punishment that smaller opponents simply can't. But that's not the biggest issue. Boots Ennis has never relied solely on power to win fights. He breaks opponents down with timing, accuracy, ring IQ, and combinations that arrive from angles most fighters never see coming. The reaction was impossible to ignore because Hackett wasn't claiming Zayas is the better boxer. He was simply suggesting he may survive longer than previous opponents. This becomes important later because lasting longer doesn't necessarily mean winning. If Boots controls the pace, lands first, and forces Zayas to react instead of attack, the size advantage could disappear very quickly. The pressure is becoming impossible to ignore as both men prepare for the biggest test of their careers.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Boots. I'm going with Boots now. Xander is no slouch. Young vigor, strong, good head movement, in shape, coming to the fight. And he got something to lose. Definitely got something to lose. He's going to give it his all. It's going to be a wonderful fight. Something that Boots got is it's a ability that can't be taught. He just got natural swagger with him. You know, his style. He do some stuff that people can't even train to develop.
Gary Anshuan Russell's breakdown carries serious weight because he's fought at the highest level himself. He gives Xander Zayas plenty of respect, acknowledging his youth, athleticism, discipline, and hunger. But when it comes time to make a prediction, he doesn't hesitate. He picks Boots Ennis. Why? Because Boots possesses something you simply can't teach. Natural instincts, creativity, timing, and ring awareness are gifts that no amount of hard work can fully replicate. That's where the controversy exploded. Zayas might have the perfect training camp, the perfect game plan, and incredible determination, but elite talent often finds answers that preparation alone can't solve. The reaction surprised everyone because Russell made it sound as though Boots' biggest weapon isn't his power, it's his boxing brain. If that's true, Xander could be walking into a puzzle that becomes more difficult with every passing round.
Yeah. Xander had Boots looking at the lights, it'd be an upset.
Gotcha.
Xander got some pop,
Yeah.
punch power in both hands. You know, and he's in shape. Like I said, he's coming to work, and he's smart too.
Yeah.
Textbook, but he's smart.
Good coach too.
Yeah. Real obedient. You know, a lot of times, hard work can be.
This may be the biggest warning Boots Ennis has received heading into the fight. Even though Gary Anshuan Russell is backing Boots, he refuses to overlook Xander Zayas' power. According to Russell, Zayas has enough punching power in both hands to change a fight with one clean shot. But this is where things get crazy. Russell still calls a Zayas victory an upset, which tells you exactly how highly he rates Boots. Yes, hard work can sometimes overcome talent, but only if the talented fighter allows it to happen. Boots has consistently shown that he adapts, adjusts, and raises his level when opponents bring their best. Remember this moment because it becomes important later. If Zayas can't land something special early, Boots' experience, speed, and natural instincts may slowly take complete control of the fight. The pressure is only continuing to grow.
Xander, man, he's a hard worker. He makes sure that he stay on his A game. You know, like I said, he's a textbook fighter, but he's obedient and he's not going to take any risks. You know, he's going to do what's responsible. And I feel like Boots going to have to take that away from him. But I'm going with Boots at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Gary Anshuan Russell gives one of the most balanced breakdowns of the entire fight. He respects Xander Zayas because he's disciplined, follows instructions, and sticks to a smart game plan. That's exactly why Zayas has climbed the rankings so quickly. But that's not the biggest issue. Russell believes Boots Ennis has the ability to take all of that away. Elite fighters don't just beat opponents physically. They force them to abandon their game plan completely. That's where the story gets interesting. If Boots controls the distance, increases the pace, and starts landing clean combinations, Zayas will be forced out of his comfort zone for the first time. The reaction surprised everyone because Russell praised Zayas throughout his analysis, yet he still couldn't pick him to win. That says everything about the respect Boots has earned inside the boxing community. The pressure is becoming impossible to ignore because this fight may come down to whether Zayas can stay disciplined once Boots starts taking over.
I mean, anybody could win, but it's how you do it. I know it's either going to be 10 rounds of dominance or, he walks into something ugly. I think that, Bryce Mills is going to come with everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, that's his only shot. He fights like he has power. He only has 7 or 8 fights, but, talking trash like he's a power puncher too. So I can't wait, and I'm gonna tell him to take his own advice.
This prediction perfectly sums up why boxing fans are so excited. The expert believes anything can happen, but one outcome seems far more likely than the other. If Boots Ennis performs at his best, this could become a one-sided masterclass from start to finish. However, if Xander Zayas lands something huge early, the entire fight could change in a split second. But this is where things get crazy. Elite fighters like Boots rarely give opponents many opportunities to pull off an upset. His movement, timing, and ring IQ usually prevent those moments from happening. The reaction surprised everyone because even analysts who acknowledge Zayas' strengths continue leaning towards Boots. That tells you just how dangerous Ennis has become. Every prediction seems to end the same way, with Boots finding a way to take control. The tension is now impossible to ignore because fans know they're about to witness one of the biggest fights of the year.
It's hard to really go against Boots because on that one with specifically Xander, I feel Xander's still young, Boots is a lot older.
Experience matters most when the pressure reaches its highest point, and that's exactly why so many boxing experts continue backing Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Xander Zayas has all the talent in the world, but he's still developing as a fighter. Boots has already faced bigger moments, tougher opponents, and championship expectations. That's where the controversy exploded because youth and confidence can only take you so far against someone who's already proven himself at the elite level. The reaction was impossible to ignore because almost every expert has repeated the same message throughout the build-up. They respect Zayas, but they trust Boots. This becomes important later because experience often decides close fights. When momentum shifts, when adjustments become necessary, and when the pressure is at its highest, veterans usually know exactly what to do. If Boots performs the way many expect, this could be another reminder that championship experience is something no training camp can replace.
He's a gym rat and he lives boxing. He really loves the sport, and you see that when he fights. But the question or concern that I have for Boots is Boots has had his way so much that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots, and I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy, what if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for.
This is probably the most honest breakdown of Boots Ennis we've heard so far. Even his supporters admit that he's not a perfect fighter. Because Boots is so talented offensively, he sometimes relies on his athletic ability instead of using tight defensive fundamentals. But that's not the biggest issue. The real question is whether Xander Zayas has the skill to make Boots pay for those mistakes. Most of Boots' previous opponents couldn't, and that's why he has looked so dominant throughout his career. The reaction surprised everyone because the criticism wasn't about Boots' talent, it was about his habits. Great fighters sometimes become comfortable because they've rarely been punished for small mistakes. However, if Zayas wants any chance of pulling off the upset, he must capitalize on every defensive opening Boots gives him. Even then, that's far easier said than done against a fighter with Boots' speed, power, and elite boxing IQ. The pressure is becoming impossible to ignore because one mistake could decide everything.
Xander Zayas, he always 100% correct with his assessment. Oh, he be on point. He be telling me in the fighter meetings when I used to call his fights. He tell me exactly what he gonna do, and he go in there and he does. I seen that damn interview he just did, and he talk about all the mistakes and weaknesses and flaws and shit that Boots be making. Yeah, he see the same I see.
Shakur Stevenson may have given Xander Zayas his biggest compliment yet. According to Shakur, Zayas isn't just another talented young fighter. He's someone with an exceptional boxing mind who studies opponents and understands exactly what he's looking at. That's a huge endorsement coming from one of boxing's smartest technicians. But this is where things get crazy. Recognizing Boots Ennis' flaws is one thing. Exploiting them inside the ring is something completely different. Plenty of fighters have identified weaknesses in elite champions, yet very few have been able to take advantage of them once the punches start flying. The reaction was impossible to ignore because Shakur's comments added genuine intrigue to the matchup. Suddenly, fans weren't only asking whether Zayas was talented enough, they were asking whether he was intelligent enough to solve the Boots Ennis puzzle. One thing is certain, this fight isn't just about power or speed. It's also a battle of ring IQ, preparation, and who can make the smartest adjustments under the brightest lights.